Imagine this. You're at a party. Music is playing. People are laughing. Conversations are happening everywhere. And you're there, physically present, but mentally, somewhere else entirely. Not because you're antisocial. Not because you don't like people. But because somewhere in the middle of the small talk, you realized nobody in that room was saying anything real, and you'd rather be alone with your thoughts than surrounded by noise that means nothing. If that hit a little too close, this one is for you. Here's what nobody tells you about being highly intelligent. It doesn't make your life easier. It makes your inner world so loud, so full, so constantly running that the outside world rarely keeps up, and that creates a specific kind of loneliness. Not the loneliness of someone who has nobody, but the loneliness of someone who has people and still feels alone. Because intelligent people don't just have conversations. They analyze them. While someone is talking, their brain is already 3 layers deep, noticing the contradiction in what was just said, questioning the assumption behind it, wondering what the person actually meant versus what they said. And you can't explain that process to someone who doesn't experience it. So you smile, you nod, you say, yeah, totally. And inside, you feel like you're watching life through a glass window. Present, but not quite there. There's another thing. Intelligent people feel things deeper than they show. They overthink kindness, wondering if it's genuine. They overthink conflict, replaying conversations at 3 a.m., looking for what they missed. They overthink connection, because they've been misunderstood enough times to stop expecting people to get them. So they build walls, not out of arrogance, out of protection. And here's the part that stings. The very thing that makes them extraordinary is the same thing that makes them feel invisible. Their depth, their awareness, their inability to be satisfied with surface-level anything. They don't want small talk. They want real conversations at midnight about why people become who they become. They don't want a crowd. They want one person who actually gets it. And those people are rare. So intelligent people learn to be alone, not because they gave up on connection, but because they refuse to settle for a version of it that leaves them feeling emptier than solitude does. And maybe that's not a flaw. Maybe that's just the price of seeing the world more clearly than most. The question isn't why you're alone. The question is, are you surrounding yourself with depth or just with people? Drop it in the comments. Do you feel more alone in a crowd than when you're actually by yourself?